This is for the times when you find it hard to get yourself on the cushion, and that may be because you're worried or anxious or fearful or depressed, because times are hard for you, or just it's generally difficult times. Or it can be when you simply feel very restless, antsy, and the idea of sitting still just seems like a complete no-no for you. Or it may be that your practice has just got a bit habitual, which it can do if we don't watch it. But for whatever reason, if you're finding it hard to get to the cushion, this is quite a useful thing to do. And actually, I think it's quite a useful thing to do periodically, however you're feeling about meditation, just to refresh things a bit and reconnect with your motivation and your intentions. Though it's in two parts. The first part is about setting up your seat, your sitting position. And then the second thing is something else, which we'll come to afterwards. So it's very easy to get very habitual about your sitting position, about your setup. Of course, I don't mean that we shouldn't stick with the things that we found that work for us, particular cushions or stools or whatever. That's fine. But what I see quite a lot when I do retreats, for instance, and people have their things set up, they just come in and plonk themselves down without thinking about it much every morning. And it's very easy to do that at home if you have a place where you can keep your sitting things. But I do think it's really worth, actually every time, if possible, that you come to your sitting things starting from scratch and redoing everything, just unpicking everything, throwing everything to one side and starting over. Because, as you will have heard me go on about, if you've been on retreat with me or if you've learnt meditation with me, setting up your position is not something you do before you meditate. It is part of the meditation. It's very much part of the process of meditation. How you set up your seat and making sure that you set it up as well as possible for your particular body is really important, because it can be very helpful or not helpful to you. It needs to be set up well, so that means with thought, with awareness. So you know what you need for good posture, which is a particular height, so that your pelvis is at the right tilt and knees below your sitting bones, and making sure you've got support for your hands, etc. And so you can have a wide base for earth contact. So you just start with that knowledge and with knowing your particular body and set up your place. What you're doing with this practice is you're using your awareness of your own body and the qualities of whatever your sitting position is composed of, cushions, blankets, chairs, whatever, and kindness to yourself in wanting to set yourself up as well as possible to give you the best chance. So what you are doing when you're doing this is practicing mindfulness and metta. This is what we're doing right now when we do this from the start. So don't dismiss it. This is all part of your practice. So throw it all to one side and start from scratch, taking care, using your awareness, using your kindness to set up as good an arrangement of things as you possibly can. And when you've done that, you need to sit on it and check it out, make sure, change anything that needs changing, adjusting, get anything else you might need. And when you've done all that with full awareness and knowing that you're being kind to yourself, however long it takes, you can turn this back on, but for now just pause it while you set up your seat. Having set up your sitting position as best you can, we're not going to do something that I just did on the spur of the moment at North London when I was leading something once. And as often with things that come to you on the spur of the moment, it felt really strong, so I've been doing it a bit ever since. And what we're going to do is walk away from your seat as far as you can go while keeping it in your vision, while you can see it. If you've got a shrine, you can keep that in your vision. It doesn't really matter whether it's your seat or your shrine, if you have one that you're seeing. So for me, because my shrine is rather oddly placed, I can walk out of one door and see my seat, or I can walk out of another door and see the shrine. It doesn't really matter. So you want to walk away as far as you can from your meditation place. I don't mean off out into the street, I just mean within your dwelling place, somewhere where you can still see your shrine, or your seat if you don't have a shrine. The seat is the important thing. And when you've got to wherever that is, just stand. Be aware of your standing body, feel your feet on the earth, feel the breath coming in and out, and look at where you're going, and have full awareness of what you are going to be walking towards in a moment, because it's something very special. People have been doing this for thousands of years. We've been doing it for however long we've been doing it. And it's a very ordinary thing to do, actually. But we forget that it's also an extraordinary thing to do. Because what you are walking towards is your version of the Vajrasana, the seat the Buddha attained enlightenment on. So you never know. So this is our knowing that informs our intention. And of course, what that is, what the Vajrasana, or your version of it, really is infinite possibilities. So when you walk towards your seat, when you take your seat, you are accepting endless possibilities. And in a way that means that you are going into the unknown, which is why sometimes it feels a teeny bit scary to meditate, because we don't really know what's going to happen. But having that knowledge and forming our intention to walk deliberately towards your seat, and take your seat very deliberately, and stay open to all possibilities. So when you've figured out where best to go, just go there and do this. If you have a very small place where you are stuck at the moment, or that you happen to be in, and you can't walk away far, then I would suggest that you just go as far as you can, stand and look at your seat and or shrine for a moment, know what it represents, and then just even if you've got the space to take 3 or 4 steps backwards and forwards, just do that a couple of times so you can feel yourself walking, feel the motions of your body, your feet meeting and leaving the ground. And then turn towards your shrine and just deliberately and slowly walk towards your shrine. If you can get fairly far away, you just stand for a moment and then deliberately walk to your seat and take your seat, knowing that you've set it up for yourself as well as you can, and staying open to what might happen when you sit down. So you can do that and then start again when you are sitting. Once you've taken your seat, sorted out your posture, made sure that you're in the best possible position, the most helpful position for yourself, double checking that everything that you have sorted out earlier is right, that you don't need to adjust anything, doing whatever you need to do to get yourself sitting comfortably, strongly, with good earth contact. And just taking a moment to feel what it's like to be in this position now. Not moving your cushions around, setting stuff up, not walking towards your seat, but here, having taken your seat, what does that feel like? And you may still not really want to sit, and that's fine. You can just sit for a moment and appreciate the care that you've taken in setting up your sitting place. Maybe you're a bit more comfortable than usual, or you might find that, well, you've gone through all that, you've gone to all that trouble and you're sat here now, so you may as well just meditate for a bit. Even if it's just 5 or 10 minutes of just sitting, simply being with whatever arises in your body, mind, heart, having taken your seat. Or you might simply want to go on to another practice of your choice, having well prepared yourself. And whatever you decide to do, knowing that the awareness and the kindness and the intention that you have used in setting all this up and bringing yourself to your seat, to your own Vajrasana, will inform and help whatever you decide to do now.